The calendar has turned to August, and the only thing hotter than the weather in the Central Valley is the USL League One playoff race. Central Valley Fuego FC and the Chattanooga Red Wolves are both below the playoff line, but could climb as high as fourth with a victory when they meet tonight for a third and final time this season. Very pleasant good evening to you wherever you may be. I'm Joe Malfa, happy to have you along tonight on ESPN+. Here's a look at what I mentioned in the standings. Both of these teams right now sitting in 7th and 8th below that line. A win could propel them as high as 4th place when the evening is all said and done. These teams may be neck and neck down the stretch here. Every point counts. 5 points separating 3rd place from 9th place right now here in USL League One. And Central Valley Fuego will look to Victor Falk to have the same success he had last time they were home. He scored 2 goals against his former team, the Richmond Kickers, en route to being named Player of the Week in USL League One. When he was with Richmond, Darren Sawatsky, the head coach, always felt he had more goals in him. They're starting to show up all of a sudden now in the new Central Valley Fuego uniform, and 2 came against his former team. We know there's always been plenty of goals on the other side for Juan Galindres, the all-time leading scorer in Chattanooga Red Wolves history. He's on the bench tonight. That doesn't mean anything. If you've been around this late the last 2 years, you know a lot of his goals come late when it matters most. He's got 8 goals already. That is tied for 3rd best in USL League One. Look for him maybe around the hour mark to provide the spark this team needs, hoping to pick up another win on the road against Central Valley Fuego. These teams have already met twice this season, a win for the Red Wolves and a draw. The Red Wolves have been a bit of a thorn in the side of Central Valley Fuego FC, and tonight they look to pluck that thorn here at Fresno State Soccer Stadium. It's Central Valley Fuego and the Chattanooga Red Wolves next on ESPN+.
We all have goals. But let's be honest, most of us aren't going to be professional athletes. But if your goal is to finish your degree, we can help. Come to a university that puts your goals first. Bellevue University, your partner in finishing goals. I'm on that routine.
Clubs making their way out onto the field for the 3rd and final meeting this season between Central Valley Fuego FC and the Chattanooga Red Wolves. We'll take a trip down memory lane and revisit the first 2 meetings between these clubs. You have to go all the way back to May 14th for the first meeting. Rafa Minzigan got things started with a goal just 3 minutes in. From there, Diego Casillas would equalize, and then Victor Falk would put Central Valley Fuego ahead 2-1. Juan Galindres pulls it back, makes it 2-2 before the break, and then nothing. A 2-2 first half. You're thinking it's going to be a crazy game from there. It finishes 2-2 with no more goals in the affair. They met again in early June on June 11th, and that was a much different story, a 2-0 victory for the Chattanooga Red Wolves. Again, Galindres doing the scoring in that matchup. We won't see him in the starting 11 tonight, but we will take a look at the starting 11s for both clubs, beginning with Martin Vasquez and his Central Valley Fuego FC side. It's usually a 4-4-2. They're missing some players tonight, so we think it might look a little more 4-3-3 with Viljan Bijev, the man to watch up top. 5 goals, leads the way. He likes to come in from the left side, but just given the personnel out there, he almost has to stay a bit more central as the target man in this lineup for Fuego. On the other side, Jimmy Weekly, the acting head coach for the Chattanooga Red Wolves. It's a very similar lineup to what we typically see. And on the back line, most importantly, is Daniel Navarro. It's been very different what this team has done with and without him in the lineup. He's only played 3 games this season, and as the season has gone along, through the time that he's missed, the same mantra has been put forth. We need him back, we need him back, we need him back. Well, he's back, and he is going to make an impact on that back line, looking to stop his counterpart in Viljan Bijev. What do we have in store tonight? 4 goals the first time, a 2-0 win for Chattanooga the second time. We are just about ready to kick things off from Fresno State Soccer Stadium. Killian Richardson is the referee in charge tonight. Pull up a chair, settle in for 90 minutes of USL League One action between Central Valley Fuego and the Chattanooga Red Wolves here in Fresno, California. Triple digits throughout the day. The heat certainly playing a factor as this one wears on. It's Chattanooga in the white from left to right, and Central Valley in the red from right to left. Joe Malva here with you this evening from Fresno State Soccer Stadium. That's so tight right now. Any game could be the game that makes the difference in the playoff race. Central Valley Fuego don't often concede early, but they conceded 3 minutes in when these teams met the first time. Driven ball from the corner. Navarro keeps it alive. Mince again. That loss last week against Charlotte really took a toll on Martin Vasquez and this Fuego side. He said he felt like they started the game off well, having watched it back twice now. Thought the first 30 minutes, they spent most of the time on the front foot, creating opportunities, playing their style, but they let in a goal, and he felt it took the energy out of them. Before they could really recompose, they conceded again before halftime, and at that point, they just came out flat in the second half, let a couple more in. Watch out here. Ends up in the arms of Carlos Aviles. But Martin Vasquez said they've taken ownership of that loss last week. He was unhappy with the way they just sort of threw in the white towel after going down 2-0 into the half. No coach wants to see that, he said, but they're ready to move past it after spending the week taking ownership of it. Here's Navarro, looking diagonally. Timmy Mel on loan for the Tampa Bay Rowdies in USL Championship, making his 9th start. That loan has really worked out well. It's not the first time he's been loaned to Chattanooga. Spent some time on loan, 3 games in fact, back in 2019 in their inaugural season. Back then he was with North Carolina, who were then in USL Championship. Now they're USL League One counterparts. So his 2nd loan now from USL Championship here to the Red Wolves. And he's been a fixture on that back line alongside Navarro when Navarro's been healthy. This is a Red Wolves side that prides itself on its ability to shut the door at the back end. Free kick on the way from out wide as Maxi Schenfeld draws the foul. It's Michael Hornsby who sends it forward. 23-year-old from Germany, making his 15th start tonight. William Gillingham on the bench tonight for Central Valley Fuego has been a backline partner of Hornsby. Those two spent some time together with Tormented 2 in USL League 2 back in 2021, and then made their way here to the Fuego together. Victor Falk serves it. High ball back at the 6. Read well by Carlos Aviles. Aviles didn't see much playing time last year. Valuable time as a backup behind Pablo Jara when he was with Tormenta. And that's after 2 years with North Texas, where he only allowed 37 goals in 32 games, 12 clean sheets as well. Part of the club that won the inaugural USL League One title. And this year he has returned to form as a starter here in this league. For Aviles, both of these teams, possession-based, like to dictate the tempo of the game with the ball at their feet. First time around, it was Chattanooga slightly edging out Central Valley in the possession battle, 51-49. Second time around, despite the 2-0 loss, Central Valley Fuego commanded possession at 62%, but the most important stat that night was the 2-0 scoreline in favor of Chattanooga. Cartagena goes back with it to Aviles as the Red Wolves continue to dictate the possession early on. Here's Lombardi. Back for Carrera Garcia. Everything flows through that man with the ball at his feet. Jose Carrera Garcia leads the way for the Red Wolves. Get this, he has 965 passes on the season. Second place on the team is over 300 passes away at 601. So the ball will be at his feet in the middle quite often. Celebrating its 75th anniversary, Select is proud to be the official match ball supplier of USL League One. Choose what you play with at www.selectsportamerica.com. Select, League's choice, player's choice. We asked Martin Vasquez about what happens when two possession-based teams meet and how he hoped this game would unfold. First real foray forward here for Fuego. It's at the feet of Schenfeld. Has Bijev lurking. Headed Bijev's way and cleared by Navarro. The two we spotlighted when we got you the starting 11s will be in each other's pockets all evening long. Another look. First time they've had a sustained wave in the attack going forward. And right back to it. Cerritos gets it back. Diego Casillas has filled in admirably defensively when he's had to over the last couple of weeks. Now gets to resume his natural position further up that right wing. Hornsby. Schenfeld. Hornsby once more. Foul calling forward in the middle. Hornsby takes a deflection, and it's out for a corner. First El Mexicano corner of the match for Central Valley Fuego. Killian Richardson wants a quick meeting before the corner's taken. Low driven ball to the front post, all the way through to the back post, begging for somebody to tap it home. Nobody was there. Opportunity gone by the wayside for Fuego. Mentioned the importance of Daniel Navarro this season with and without him. The numbers are staggering. He has only played 3 games, so it is a small sample size, to be fair. But when the goals conceded are half with him versus without him, that's drastic. And when your head coach in Jimmy Obleda, not with the team still at the moment, has all season long been banging the drum about the necessity of Navarro, now that he's back, you have to look at those numbers. Up the right side, it's Minsigan. Rafa Minsigan hoping to bend that one to the far post, but it was blocked. Circling back to that point about what happens when two possession-based teams go head-to-head, Martin Vasquez just said you have to jump on it early. The team who imposes their will first forces the other team to adjust, whether that's converting into a low block or a mid block, setting out a higher line of pressure to try to break up your possession. You have to make the opposition react. He said this Fuego team is comfortable playing in a low mid block if they have to, or setting that high line of pressure if it is Chattanooga that does indeed impose its will in the possession early on. You have to jump on it early when two teams who play a similar style go at it. And through 10 minutes, it has been Chattanooga with the more meaningful possession. Minsigan. DJ Benton. .16th start now on that back line for DJ Benton. Struggled to crack the lineup with North Texas last year in their final year in USL League One. It was his first year as a professional. Made 8 appearances for the club. Spent time in the Atlanta United Academy, then 2 years in the Houston Dynamo Academy before he went to college at UAB. He's bounced around a lot at the academy level. 2 years in college, a year with North Texas after a year where he didn't play at all in 2020. Seems to have found a home here with the Red Wolves. Jordan Chavez back and forth with Sam Strong. Playing hot potato with it on the back line. And it's Chavez's turn to take it forward. Hornsby. Talk about Timmy Mell on loan on the back line for Chattanooga. Same goes for Sam Strong here on it now for Central Valley Fuego. They just brought him in late July. He's making his 4th appearance tonight on loan from Monterey Bay FC, USL Championships expansion side. So from one expansion team to another, just swapping leagues. This is not the first time that Sam Strong has played in Fresno. He was with the prior Fresno club when they were in USL Championship under Frank Yallop, who's now the head coach of Monterey Bay, who jumped at the idea of bringing Sam Strong in, but realizes that he wasn't going to get the minutes the way the lineup was stacked for Monterey Bay this year. Sends him along to Central Valley Fuego, and the minutes have been racking up ever since as Strong plays it along for Chavez. Cerritos for Hornsby. Cerritos again. Schenfeld. Lesoto opens up. Casillas return to sender. That's the other thing you can expect when two possession-based teams meet each other. Waves in which one side dominates the other. First 10 minutes belong to Chattanooga, and it's been about 2.5 minutes since the Red Wolves have since touched the ball. Fuego now enjoying the better of the possession. Look at the foul here against Nico Cardona. Got the hand up around the neck of Diego Casillas. Schenfeld. They haven't yet found Bijev. Look in Lesoto. Still with it. And now cleared by Cartagena. Up for Alex Tejera. Tejera trying it from beyond midfield. Diving stop by Ant-Man. The audacity to have a go from inside your own half, and he struck it cleanly. Ant-Man needed every inch of his frame to keep that one out. We saw a 40-yarder from Emiliano Terzaghi last night. It was a worm burner when he noticed the goalkeeper was out of position instead of a moonshot like that one would have been. Off the top of my head, I can't recall a goal of that nature since Ricky Lopez-Espin did it for Fort Lauderdale CF against Tormenta a couple of years ago. Don't see it often. Mintz again. Stopped at the near post by Etman. Rafa Mintz again, a clean strike. Had one a few moments ago, but it was blocked that time by Chavez. This one got through to Etman. All the way at the other end of the field, it's Carlos Aviles who went down on his own volition. That's concerning because the Fuego haven't really sent anything his way where you could say there was some contact or something specific. I don't have a PhD in lip reading, but it almost seemed like the trainer said we're going to make a sub here. Alex Tejera came really close to what would have surely been the goal of the week. I don't care what else happened in the rest of the games this week. It might have been a goal of the year candidate. And unfortunately, it does seem like that'll do it on the evening for Aviles. Tor Saunders is your backup goalkeeper. Hate to see that so early in a match to your goalkeeper. Come in cold now after a quarter of an hour. The other end, Ant-Man made a stop to end the attack. Now it's up to Central Valley to test the new keeper just into the game. Haven't seen much of Tor Saunders this year. Only 2 starts on the season for Tor Saunders. 4 saves, 4 goals conceded in 2 matches played. It's not a whole lot of anything. Sitting behind Carlos Aviles all season long. Once you saw Aviles down, you unfortunately had to start fearing the worst. There wasn't any play in his vicinity. The ball was at the other end of the field, and he goes down on his own. We just hope all the best for him going forward. This is a Red Wolves team that has dealt with some injuries all year long. Currently dealing with some injuries still. Substitutions tonight brought to you by Dos Equis. Martin Vasquez, you have to believe now the mantra is get it on goal, test the keeper, see if he's ready coming into this game cold. This Fuego team has not scored enough this year for Vasquez's liking, and they have to be careful not to give one up here. Mintz again in front, blocked on the way through. Red Wolves have been threatening. That is their 4th shot attempt. 2 of them on goal. DJ Benton got into the area. Well, it actually wasn't blocked. He just missed it. Took a weird ricochet. He misjudged the path of the ball and put it into the back of his own left leg. Fuego, their attack just doesn't compute this year. They're near the top of the league in most passing categories. They are middle of the way in conversion rate, but they are 9th in goals. And a yellow card out of the pocket here being issued to Josue Cartagena for that foul. Martin Vasquez chalks it up to just a lack of finishing. It's more concerning when the opportunities aren't being created. He's happy with the opportunities that have been created. They just haven't finished at the rate they need to be finishing at. He's confident, though, in the scorers they have in this group. A couple of guys who lead the way, but plenty others on the periphery capable of scoring. Alexis Cerritos among those players capable of it. We just haven't seen it from him quite as much as perhaps Martin Vasquez wants and knows Cerritos is capable of. Just 1 goal on the season after he signed in early May. Ozzy Ramos with 2 assists on the year stands over this free kick alongside Viljan Bijev. Viljan Bijev has never met a free kick that he doesn't want to put on goal. This is a bit far. If it were anybody else standing over the ball, I'd say it's a cross, but Viljan Bijev might have a crack here. Bijev does cross it. Nobody there. Is Viljan Bijev a level above this league? That's up for debate. Maybe a lot of people would say he is. But I had a chance to talk with some people around the Fuego club ahead of their US Open Cup match earlier this year against Sacramento Republic, and that's a Sacramento Republic side who has now gone on to the final, and Fuego pushed them to the brink. It took a 95th minute penalty from Sacramento Republic, last minute of stoppage time, to get by Fuego. But ahead of that match, the conversation around Bijev was he picked this team because he sees the way League One is growing, and he's from Fresno. He wants to be a part of this club's foundation in his own backyard. So while there might be a lot of people out there who say that he's a player who should be a level above or should be overseas, this is exactly where he wants to be. And he's got 5 goals with 2 assists through 16 matches this season. Also had a pair in Open Cup. Ozzy Ramos over to Tunde Akinlasotu. Akinlasotu, like so many on this Fuego side, and that's typical of an expansion side. He's bounced around a bit. He hasn't really been able to find a home ever since a successful collegiate career at George Mason. Spent a year with Tormenta in 2020. Spent a year with the Maryland Bobcats in Nisa last year. But perhaps finding a home now in the Central Valley. 7th start now for Akinlasotu. Sam Strong carries across midfield. Strong looking for Casillas. Bijev gives chase, but Red Wolves play out of the back successfully. Bijev's only real chance on the ball was that free kick moments ago from distance. Coming off a year in which he scored 12 goals with 6 assists in USL Championship. There's Jimmy Weekly, the acting head coach for the Red Wolves. Ask Martin Vasquez if he's seen anything different out of the Red Wolves in the current absence of Jimmy Obleda. And at this point, didn't notice anything different. Martin Vasquez said, well, Jimmy Obleda might not physically be in the technical area. This is still very much a team loyal to the identity he created for it. It's technically sound, it's scrappy, you know it's going to be a fight for 90 minutes, and through 24, it has been exactly that. We're scoreless here at Fresno State Soccer Stadium. Joe Malfa with you here on ESPN+. Top of the hour, 8 local time, played in front, back post, and wrong side of that post. Jimmy Villalobos drifted to the back post. Played his way by Alex Tejeda. Got a pair of goals on the season, Villalobos. He didn't miss a third by that much. There's been a slight uptick in his scoring in terms of the scoring rate, at least. He had 2 goals in 25 games last year, and he's already got 2, and now just 15 starts this year. For a Chattanooga team that has struggled on the road. It's a fortress for them at home. The road, different story. In the live table, with both teams picking up a point each, Fuego would go above the playoff line on the tiebreaker with Union Omaha, but Union Omaha has 2 games in hand. Red Wolves would still sit in 8th place. Over the top to Casillas, and the flag came up. That is a look at the live table. A reminder, as we noted top of the broadcast when we showed you the standings, if either team wins this game, they do go into 4th place based on the tiebreakers. Odd to look at a table and see a 2-loss team in Union Omaha below the playoff line, but that's what happens when you have 9 ties on the year. Schenfeld cuts in, puts his defender on skates, back post headed away by Navarro. You figure if you have 9 ties, think about it in a different light. 9 ties is 9 points. In those same 9 games, if you win 3 and lose 6, you're not happy about it, losing 6, but it's still the same 9 points. That's why Omaha sits below the line with just 2 losses. There is Navarro popping up again, doing the work defensively. Strong turn in space by Villalobos, feeds it out wide for Aaron Lombardi. Lombardi, Carrera Garcia. Lombardi again. Falls for Benton. Collision initiated by Cerritos. He's called for the foul. A free kick on the way for Chattanooga. Dangerous area as well. Unnecessary from Cerritos. It almost looked more like a foul you'll see on the basketball court where a player just stops short and begs for the player to run through him from behind. And Benton took the bait. Excuse me, Cerritos took the bait from Benton. And Carrera Garcia stands over the free kick. 2 goals, 2 assists this season. Yellow card given to Casillas away from the action. A bit too wordy in his protest to Killian Richardson. This is an awkward one for Carrera. Could you go for goal? Yes. Are you better suited crossing? Probably. And he does loft it all the way to the back of the box. Not the best delivery. Sent back into the middle and into the hands of Ant-Man. Opportunity squandered by the Red Wolves. Has to be better there. 4 shots, 2 on target for Chattanooga. Still goose eggs in both of those categories for Fuego. So the beat goes on for Central Valley Fuego, doing everything right up until the final third. It's been their issue all season long. They've got 22 goals on the season, but if you dig a little bit deeper into that, you see the 4-0 outburst against Tormenta, a 3-goal outburst against North Carolina, and another 3-goal outburst against Richmond. You can't take those games away from Fuego, but in those 3 games alone, they come up with 10 goals. On the season, they have 22 goals. So in those 3 games, 10 goals. In the other 13 games, 12 goals. That's under a goal per game. So aside from those 3 outliers, going under 1 goal per game is not a way to success. They've counteracted that by some top-notch defending. Ball floated centrally to Heron, jockeying for position. And a very late offside flag. Takes us into the hydration break, I believe. That's what Killian Richardson was signaling for. Players now taking notice of it, and they will make their way over to their respective benches. Triple digits coming into the evening. Sun is descending still. So temperatures hopefully cooling off as we go along. The teams enter their hydration break. It's been a fun night at the park here at Fresno State Soccer Stadium. For all those involved, that's the supporters section, and that includes a lot of kids who are at the venue tonight. Special evening here for the club. High Performance Academy and Fuego FC, with the support of RWM Home Loans, held a youth soccer camp this week from Monday through Friday for kids ages 3.5 to 12 years old. And as a treat for the final day of camp, all campers were invited to tonight's match to be part of the Dream Team and High Five line. Many campers very excited to take the field tonight. And who knows, maybe 10 to 15 years from now, or in the case of the 3.5-year-olds, 20 years from now, maybe find themselves in a Central Valley Fuego FC kit down the line. A lot of those campers taking in the game over there beyond the ad boards. A drum that will not stop beating until the final whistle blows. And of course, as I say that, they take a brief break and maybe have a hydration break of their own. So the drum does stop for a moment. But the game planning does not. Over on the sideline, as Martin Vasquez has his 11 over for a word. And you have to believe the words coming out of the mouth of Martin Vasquez have to do with the lack of anything threatening on the attacking end. No shots through 30 minutes for Central Valley Fuego. It might be a similar conversation for the Red Wolves as well. They've had more dangerous attacks going forward, but their best chance was that one from 65 yards out by that man, Alex Tejeda. Only 2 shots on target in their own right. Players properly hydrated and ready to get things going again. When I checked the official temperature before kickoff, it was 100 degrees. It has since gone down to a much cooler 99 here in Fresno. Ozzy Ramos back for Akin Lesotho. Casillas. He's taken down hard. There has been some venom between these teams in the first 2 matchups. We wondered when it might begin to rear its ugly head in this game. And we're starting to see the seeds planted. The foul from Benton a few moments ago, the yellow card from Casillas for jawing after the fact. And now players coming together here. Casillas had his right toe stepped on. Garcia wasn't very forgiving. $10 to play plus stoppage time here in half number one. And it's been a scoreless one still between Fuego and the Red Wolves. Glad to have you with us tonight on ESPN Plus. Don't miss a minute of the action in 2022. Whether your club is on the road or at home, catch nearly every second of USL League One on ESPN Plus, home to the USL, MLS, La Liga, Bundesliga, UFC, and more. Sign up today at plus.espn.com. Casillas finds it on the other side, plays it through. Schenfeld there, heads it goalward, and cleared. Fuego believed there was a handball in there. It looked like Timmy Melt had his right hand tight to his hip. Let's take a closer look at it. Well worked by Casillas in a more natural right wing position this week. His right hand was almost behind his hip. No real case for a handball there. Bijev will serve on the El Mexicano corner. Bijev through for Casillas. Casillas drives it over the bar. They've now registered their first shot of the match, Fuego. Still haven't put one on target. Look ahead at the rest of the schedule for this week. Thursday, no action. Picks up on Friday and then a full load on Saturday. Here's Tejera. Chattanooga meets Greenville on the weekend. And Fuego stays right here at home against Union Omaha. In the end, this was ruled a corner. See, Tejera, he just struck that wide on his own, but gets the benefit of the doubt. We have the benefit of replay, referees do not. Garcia, backspin toward the back of the six, knotted centrally, and Timmy Mel commits the foul. You have to wonder when Killian Richardson might go to the pocket for Timmy Mel on persistent infringement. That is the fourth time he's been called for a foul in the match. Individually, none have been remotely close to yellow card worthy, but 4 fouls is still 4 fouls in the first half. Central Valley Fuego rely on the core principles that Martin Vasquez lays out for them. Oh, that in a second. A late foul call on that challenge by Bijev, and he picks up a yellow for it as well, much to his dismay. It was a late whistle. So it almost seemed as if Killian Richardson was going to let it slide entirely. Not only that, he comes back and gives a yellow for it. That is harsh to Bijev. Martin Vasquez, those principles he lays out. He wants this team to defend well as a unit, dictate the flow of play with the ball, and use the high press that makes life difficult for opposing teams. checked a couple of those boxes so far. They've had spells where they've dictated the flow of the play with the ball. Their defense has held strong. A high line of pressure we haven't seen so much tonight. But he did note that a high line of pressure is something that maybe goes away on a night like this, in a week where you had to travel cross country on a short week and play in 100-degree temperatures. The body just can't handle something like that, playing your full-on, all-out mentality with the high pressure. Tonight they'd have to pick their moments and be more judicious in terms of recognizing when they should press as a unit. So perhaps we see it in spurts later on. Haven't really seen much of it yet. Haven't seen much offense yet either from Fuego. Cerrito's hoping to change that, but he takes a tumble. Offside flag up on Tejera. Alexis Cerritos, once he gets going, is someone they're very excited about here with Fuego. Spent last year with RGV in USL Championship, some time prior to that with Loudoun and Orange County. 28 appearances in all in USL Championship. Feels like he's been around forever, but he's still just 21 years of age, and it feels like he's been around forever because back in 2017, he made his debut with the El Salvador national team. He was the youngest player to ever do so at the time, and the firstborn of the 21st century to do so. Schenfeld had some fun with it, got some oohs and ahs from the crowd, but didn't get anything else. Chavez. Over to Akin Lesotho. Back to that note on Cerritos. He's still got plenty of time to play his way back into the national team mix, and he's hoping this could be the building blocks for it here in Fuego, with a more defined role that he didn't really have in USL Championship. He's still just 21 years of age. It's a Salvadoran national team spearheaded by Hugo Perez, who has really enjoyed dipping into the American-based Salvadoran players in his tenure. He's the manager for El Salvador. He played for the U.S. men's national team. Not odd to see a lot of dual nationals in CONCACAF. Martin Vasquez, the poster boy for it. First to ever play for both the Mexican men's national team and the United States men's national team. Ramos apologetic after the foul. Headed toward Carrera Garcia, but Casillas cleans it up. Ball just over the line as Victor Falk was giving chase. A wily veteran move by Navarro. Fuego wanted to take that throw in quickly. He was ready to play that second ball off the field. Saw they were waiting to play quickly and just left it there. Sloppy spell of play here from both teams, just giving it away back and forth on that far side of the field. Taken through by Villalobos. Working in the corner, Lombardi. Won by Akin Lesotho. Saunders has not been asked to do anything since subbing in for Carlos Aviles just 15 minutes in. One shot, none on target for Fuego. The goalkeeper comes in cold, you have to test him. Even if it means hitting one from 30 yards out. Just make him do something. Fuego haven't even been able to do that. Dying embers of half number one. Martin Vasquez mentioned he was happy with the chance creation of this team. It's just been a lack of finishing and has led to their goal scoring woes. Chance creation hasn't been there tonight either. I'm sure we'll have a chat about that in the dressing room over the next 15 minutes. Four minutes of added time here in the first half. Figure that's 2 minutes for the hydration break and 2 minutes for the Carlos Aviles injury. Adds up. Again, Lesotho for Casillas. It was an adventure there for Casillas. First the grass got him, then the ad boards got him. Here's the stumble. Regathers. Oh, to his credit, he did not fall into the boards. He was shoved. A sneaky little shove over on that side. Cerritos. Wide for Casillas. Looking for Bijev. You get the sense if Fuego are to find anything offensively tonight, it's going to come from Casillas. Anytime they've had a positive movement forward, he's been involved. He was asked to drop down to the back line as a right back the last few games, given all the injuries Fuego had been dealing with. Adequate fill in for a couple of games, now back to a more natural position. It's paying off with what he's done so far in the first half. The only real bright spot offensively for Fuego. Something here now perhaps for the Red Wolves. It'll be a corner with 2 minutes to go in the half. Can't play the game without a ball. They finally found one, and they get it into play quickly. Off toward that back post. Tejeda there. Falls loose for a moment, and then cleared. Let's see what the call is. Casillas, a second yellow. What happened there? Killian Richardson calmly sauntering over. I wasn't sure which way the foul was going to go, what he was going to do. The last thing I expected was a second yellow for Casillas. We'll have to see that one again. He picked up his first yellow for dissent. And now he's done. Fuego down a man right before the break. His protest isn't too vigorous. It's more disappointment than anger. Almost as if he realizes what he did, but let's take a closer look. Casillas jumped in for the header. Got a shoulder squarely into the back of Lombardi. I don't know if that one's going to sit well with Fuego and Martin Vasquez. That one's borderline yellow if it's the first offense. Right, wrong, or indifferent, referees typically give a little bit of leash when it comes to a second yellow. So a bit surprising to see Casillas sent off, but he is sent off nonetheless. Well, they're up a man. Can the Red Wolves go up a goal right before the break? It's deflected on the way through and pounced on by Etman. And whistle now to end half number one, coming at any moment from Killian Richardson. And there it is, but not without a game-changing call right before the break. Diego Casillas picked up a second yellow. He's done for the evening. When we reconvene for half number two, Central Valley Fuego will be down a man here in this scoreless matchup so far. Third meeting of the season between these two clubs. The first one resulted in a 2-2 draw back in May. The second one, a 2-0 victory for the Red Wolves back in June. How will things end up here in matchup number three? It was an evenly contested first half overall. Both teams enjoyed separate spells of possession that went their way. Neither side with an overtly dangerous opportunity. But now Fuego down a man when we come back for half number two. The halftime show is next here on ESPN+.
We all have goals. But let's be honest, most of us aren't going to be professional athletes. But if your goal is to finish your degree, we can help. Come to a university that puts your goals first. Bellevue University, your partner in finishing goals. I'm on that routine.
Halftime in the Valley between Central Valley Fuego and the Chattanooga Red Wolves. This is not the first bit of action we've had this week in USL League One. We also saw something last night. We had 3 on Saturday, and we revisit it all with our Ryan Rose.
We start in Omaha. Omaha and Chattanooga both coming in off of scoreless draws, just looking for a goal. In the 20th minute, a goal was found. Pedro Hernandez through the wickets of Rashid Nuhu. 20th minute, his second goal of the season, and that's an early 1-0 lead for Chattanooga. But Hernandez got 2 yellow cards, was sent off, and Chattanooga had to play a man down into stoppage time until this. Giovanni Willis off the layoff from Akoff. Big goal for him, his first for Omaha, his first in League One. And points are shared in Omaha. 1-1 your final. That's 3 straight draws for Omaha, not making up ground in the table with those games in hand. We go to Madison. Madison hosting Northern Colorado. That's Arthur Rogers, who leads the team with 5 assists. This one gets cycled back around to him. Has to make a move to get past Leonard, and there's assist number 6 off the head of Irvin Parra. That's just the first goal conceded by Raika Arozarena since arriving 3 matches ago for Madison. Parra's team leading 8 of the season. Huge goal for Parra and the visiting side, and a G-chord to boot. Roger Smith answers, though, in the second half, just like he did a month ago at Canvas Stadium in Northern Colorado. A shot from the top of the box gets past Peñaranda, and it is 1-1. We go to stoppage time. Lachlan McLean on a breakaway. He's going to get close. He's going to get it up into the doorstep, but no longer in my house, says Arozarena. A little defense there, and Arozarena from his backside picks up the loose change, and the match will finish level. 6 game-tying goals now for Madison. 4 draws this season after conceding the first goal. A wet night in Greenville, an hour 45-minute delay to get this one started. Keziah Sterling down the pitch, beats 2 defenders and Christensen for the early goal, his 6th goal of the season. What a start to his League One career in Keziah Sterling, and what league doesn't he dominate in? And then just a few minutes later, Sterling sets up Kingsford Agi here. 4 assists now for Sterling. Huge goal for Agi. It is 2-0 Tormenta. Just past the diving Christensen. Now Greenville would not give up at that point. They would respond. Here's a corner from Gavilanes to Jacob Labovitz, his 11th goal of the season. That's the Golden Boot leader right there, using his head for that goal. 2-1 now Tormenta. And then a storm comes in. We get another 50-minute delay. Don Smart fouls Adrian Billhart right there at the top of the box, and that's all Gabriel Cabral needs to score a big goal. His 3rd of the season through the tiniest of windows. 3-1 your final. Tormenta is 5-0-1 against Greenville since last June. Tuesday night, last night, brand new stadium, Severance Stadium, 24th minute. Just off the post, Trevor Amon had himself a frustrating night. He was all over the place around goal. And then Emiliano Terzaghi, are you joking? I think we can close the balloting on August goal of the month. I think we found it on the 2nd day of the month. From the 29-yard line, it will result in 3 points if Amon can't put this one in. This header off the backside, Richmond defending, and then saved by Fitzgerald. And then late in the match, another chance. Too tall for Amon. After it hits the bar, Richmond clears it off the back line, and that is it. 1-0. 6 saves for Fitzgerald in his 5th clean sheet. And now this from the USL.
We all have goals. But let's be honest. Most of us aren't going to be professional athletes. But if your goal is to finish your degree, we can help. Come to a university that puts your goals first. Bellevue University, your partner in finishing goals. I'm on a routine. I'm on a routine.
Jamaican Malik Foster. The Panenka, absolutely disgusting, plenty of times. Saved by Viniello! Rodrigo Lopez! It's improbable! It's indomitable! It's another cup set!
As a result of that drama you just witnessed, courtesy of Tyler Terrence and Devin Kerr on the call, Sacramento Republic will be in the U.S. Open Cup final on September 7th in Orlando against Orlando City, mind you, another former USL Championship team that has gone on to MLS, so USL fingerprints all over that U.S. Open Cup final. And we've seen plenty of new additions to this league as the season has gone along. Corey Herzog may be one of the biggest, one of the all-time leading scorers in USL Championship history. And then, of course, Adrian Vera joins the Central Valley Fuego team we're seeing tonight. Not in the 18, we won't see him tonight, but he can provide a terrific impact going forward. 130-plus USL Championship appearances for Vera. Now, Central Valley Fuego fans look away as a result of the 4-0 win of Charlotte Independence last week over your squad. You see a team of the week that is almost entirely the starting 11 of Charlotte Independence, headed by Corey Bennett, who scored the hat trick in that one. And do not look at the bottom left, to focus on all of the other scores that we saw in the past week. The Richmond Kickers are now second place in the league. They had a big win yesterday over Northern Colorado. Emiliano Terzaghi from 40 yards out. Are you kidding me? This guy does it all. Golden Boots, MVPs, he does it all. And we've got more action coming up during the week. Charlotte and Independence. Speaking of beatdowns by Charlotte, they won 6-2 the last time they faced Forward Madison. They could be the first team in League One this season to sweep an opponent. No one has gone a perfect 3-0-0 against any opponent this season. So Charlotte could do that. It's been a great atmosphere when they've been at home this season. Dropping from USL Championship, they found a nice little home here in USL League One. And a look at the broader upcoming schedule. I mentioned you could have that sweep there for Charlotte. It's not the only one that you could see this season. The Richmond Kickers, Darren Sawatsky against his former team, FC Tucson, could do it as well. Chattanooga-Greenville is always a very tense rivalry. So plenty of fun action to look forward to on Saturday. A 4-pack on Saturday, and your appetizer is that Friday night action between Charlotte and Forward Madison. And highlights and stats are coming up next from half number 1 between Central Valley Fuego and the Chattanooga Red Wolves.
We all have goals. But let's be honest. Most of us aren't going to be professional athletes. But if your goal is to finish your degree, we can help. Come to a university that puts your goals first. Bellevue University, your partner in finishing goals. I'm on that real team. I'm on that real team.
Ready to begin half number 2 between Central Valley Fuego and the Chattanooga Red Wolves. But before we begin the second half and look back at highlights from the first, brought to you by El Mexicano, in the 14th minute is where we pick things up And it's where Tejera picked this ball up in his own half and nearly had the opening goal of the game. A flying stop by Opek Ant-Man. You have to say it's a great save, yes. He was also well out of position to force him into making such a great save, but well struck by Tejera to cause that nervy moment. Shortly thereafter, Minsigin on the way through, and his shot finds a way through. Diving stop again by Ant-Man at his near post. 19th minute, strong build-up here as Benton got it over to Minsigin. The return pass, he just fluffed it, put it into the back of his left leg as he misfires. 36th minute, down the right wing, Diego Casillas helping create towards Schenfeld. The shot blocked on the way through as he snapped the header goalward. We wouldn't see much more from Diego Casillas beyond in terms of the attacking portion of the match, but he was sent off after he picked up a second yellow card. So a reminder that Fuego are playing down a man. And we will have some subs to get to you as well. Underway in half number 2. Scoreless between the Red Wolves and Fuego. Chattanooga from right to left in the white, and Fuego from left to right in the red. Alexis Cerritos out of the match for Fuego. Jesus Partida comes in, brought to you by Dos Equis. That's taking off an attacking-minded midfielder in Cerritos for a more defensive-minded one in Partida. Now that you're down a man, have to commit a bit more on the back end. Andres Hernandez comes in for Josue Cartagena on the Red Wolves side. In the first half, there were 6 shots for Chattanooga, 3 of them on target, just 1 shot for Fuego, and it was not on target. The most important stat from that half, though, the red card given to Fuego, playing down a man, but on the front foot here to begin the half. Switched into the neighborhood of Akin Lesotho. Jesus Partida coming in, makes his 12th appearance on the season. On the other side, Andres Hernandez makes his 14th of the season for Chattanooga. Used mainly as a sub. Of those 14 appearances, 10 have come off the bench for Hernandez. At halftime, the possession numbers were 54-46 in favor of Fuego. Curious to see where that ends up as the Red Wolves play this second half up a man. Don't forget the specter of Juan Galindres awaits. The team's leading scorer with 8 goals on the bench tonight. You wonder how long Jimmy Weekly will wait to make that switch. Galindres hard to stop as it is, but try doing that when you're down a man. Partida and Ramos combine on the foul of Carrera Garcia. Lombardi for Hernandez. Hernandez gets it out to Cardona. Slotted through for Hernandez. In the middle now for a strike that's stopped at the near post by Ant-Man off the foot of Jimmy Villalobos. A picturesque build-up from the Red Wolves. Passing triangles working there, in to out. It's when you roll on the tape, when you rewatch the game. You tap on the board and you say this, let's do more of this. That's exactly how you want it done if you're the Red Wolves. Carrera Garcia into the book. Persistent infringement. One thing you never want to see as a player is a referee walking in your direction and pointing to various spots of the field, counting up previous fouls you've committed. In Lesotho. Jordan Chavez launches it. Bijev lets it run, conserves the energy. Knew that one was a goner. Navarro made a couple of big defensive plays in the first half. Don't know how often he'll be called into question now. The Red Wolves are playing up a man. Corner for the Red Wolves. Carrera Garcia, fresh off the yellow card, down there to take it. Has a short option in Lombardi. Corner served in, headed goalward, takes a deflection the other way. That man would have been beaten. The second deflection after he had already committed to his far post off the head of Tahera. Perhaps it wasn't off the head of Tahera because it's now a corner at the other end. Seems like the Red Wolves get away with another one. Tahera was starting to walk up the field as if it'd be a goal kick. Floated in again, Tahera. Stopped by Etman. Tahera has created a handful of opportunities tonight for the Red Wolves. You wonder if Juan Galindres used to come into this game, if it's for someone else to let those two roam free up top together. You'd hate to take off Tahera the way he's playing, but it might be an either-or proposition as those two occupy the same space. Falk going the wrong way, just trying to find some space to play out of the danger. That man, the best he could do was sail it into the supporters group. Again. Started the game on the right side. Seems to have had free license to roam. We've seen him left, right, and center. Martin Vasquez mentioned both teams coming into this game are in a position where they need 3 points, and he said for his side, it's also a chance to get even after a loss and a draw in the previous two. Felt that in the last meeting between these teams, that 2-0 win for Chattanooga, that Fuego actually had the better of the chances early on, had opportunities to go up, did not take them. And then they concede a free kick, forced them to open up late in the second half, allowed Galindres to slam the door shut with a second goal. On a night where the 3 points mean so much, an ever-tightening playoff race, Fuego felt they had to have this one, especially to kick off a month of August that is chock full of home games. We've got this one tonight. They host Union Omaha on Saturday, then a road trip out to the East Coast to take on North Carolina the following Saturday, and then 3 more at home: Richmond, Tormenta, Tucson to close out August. Martin Vasquez was hoping this would be the stretch in which they established their home field as a tough place to play. Whenever you're at home, you want to start on the front foot, impose your principles on the game, on the other team. Martin Vasquez wants opposing teams to look at the schedule, see they're going to Fresno, and say, that's a tough one. It all starts with this long stretch in August, and that starts tonight. It's going to be an uphill battle if they're going to find those 3 points tonight, playing down a man. And there are 3 vital points in this tight race, because 3 points for either side would put that team in 4th place at the end of the night on an evening where both teams began below the playoff line. You wonder now if the goal for Fuego is to just hold on at 0-0. Both teams play again on Saturday at home. If all of a sudden you turn it into a 6-point week, the complexion of the table changes. But the calculus shifts when you're down a man. Would Fuego have liked a win coming into the night? Absolutely. But if you would have told Martin Vasquez that his team played down a man the entire second half and they still earned a point, I'd venture a guess he'd be pretty happy when all is said and done. That point would carry Fuego above the playoff line for the time being. Misplay at the back. Here's Tejera looking to turn. Akin Lesotho and Sam Strong exchanging words. Those are some miscommunications you may have. When a player like Sam Strong is in on loan, hasn't seen much time on the field. This is just his 4th appearance since joining. Navarro. Benton for Hernandez. Too strong on the pass out wide to Minsigan. Here's another look at that miscue on the back end. Benton got in the way of Strong, who pulled out of it at the last second. Tejera nearly the beneficiary. Back to the standings for a moment. If down a man, Fuego do earn this draw and do go north of that playoff line, it would have to feel really good because your next opponent is Union Omaha on this field, and that's the team chasing you. Fuego would be in 6th, Omaha in 7th. Here's Carrera Garcia, he centers it. Still loose, bouncing around, and finally cleared. Red Wolves are getting closer. The pack is hunting, and it only seems like a matter of time before they strike. Just begging for somebody to have a hit at it. Carrera squared it back. That's the right thing to do from that angle. Tejera's first touch was to settle instead of shoot. And it just in slow motion seemed to be sitting there waiting for someone. Red Wolves were expecting that to be a throw in their direction, but back to Fuego as we inch toward the hour mark, still scoreless. That man puts it off the shoulder of Falk. Poor attempt at a clearance, ends up at the feet of Jesus Partida. Partida. Ramos along for Jordan Chavez. Here is Chavez connecting with Bijev. Miljan Bijev, he wants one. It's blocked. He has a knack for scoring from this range. Not that time. felt like every game we saw in the early stages of the season when BJ went on that tear, it wasn't just one goal after another, it was one scorcher after another. That encompasses League Play and Open Cup. Considering they're down a man, Fuego, through nearly 15 minutes of this half, they've been able to keep possession at 50-50 in the second half. Not quite looking like they're only playing with 10 men. But they'll deal with the corner here. A reminder, we've already seen 2 subs from Chattanooga. Tor Saunders, the goalkeeper, entered the match a quarter of an hour in for the injured Carlos Aviles. And then at halftime, Josue Cartagena was taken off the field in favor of Andres Hernandez. You wonder if part of the thinking behind that sub was to get Cartagena and his yellow card off the field. The last thing you'd want is for a physical midfielder like Cartagena to pick up a silly second yellow and re-level the playing field at 10 men apiece. Hour gone, half hour to go now from Fresno State Soccer Stadium in Fresno, California. Joe Malfa with you for the action tonight. Fuego and Red Wolves meeting for the 3rd and final time this regular season. First time resulted in a draw, second time in a Red Wolves victory. And the Red Wolves have an knack for scoring in the second 45 this year. 15 of their 28 goals have come in the second half of play. And they're up a man as they look to make it 16 or more in the second half. Hard to blame them now, down a man, but the scoring struggles continue for Fuego. Not that they really had any chances before they went down a man, though. They were shut out in the last game against Charlotte, that 4-0 loss. Scored 3 in an outburst prior to that. That 3-1 win at home against Richmond. But the first 3 games of July, a pair of 1-0 losses and a 1-0 win. East to west, Minsigan harassed the entire way by Akin Lesotho. Cleanly won by the defender. And it's Carrera Garcia to the loose ball. Now they try up the right side. Carrera Garcia. There's been a switch of the wingers. Lombardi has gone to the right side, Minsigan to the left side. And a handball against the Red Wolves. Starting to enter Juan Galindre's territory on an evening where the temperatures were in triple digits at kickoff. You wonder how much energy some of the guys out there have in the tank. That goes for everybody. Attacking options, defensive options. If you can get a fresh-legged Juan Galindres out there against a tired Fuego back line that's defending down a man, could be a recipe for success for the Red Wolves. Foul. Seemed to be gearing up for a long throw. Goes short instead. On the turn, Ramos. Nobody there at the back post. Strong ball put in. That was Partita, excuse me. Did well to work by his man, Nico Cardona. The supporters are hoping for the best. Trying to act as the 11th man themselves tonight, with Fuego down a player between the lines. Minsigan. Akin Lesotho has had him locked up on this right wing. It might be time to move Minsigan back over to the right side where he began the match. He was having a lot more success over there. called against Fuego. This is the 5th time in which a team has picked up a first half red card in USL League One. The first 4 times, not as bad as you might think. 2 wins, 2 losses. It's a small sample size of just 4, but to be 500 when going down in the first half. One of the 2 losses actually came the last time that Fuego played here at home. That 3-1 win over Richmond. The Kickers picked up a first half red. So prior to the Fuego last home game, it was actually a winning record when teams were down a man in the first half. Omaha, Tucson, the 2 teams that emerged victorious. That's not to say you want to go down a man. Still less than ideal, but not the end of the world. Don't think for a second that Fuego are out of this game still. For a possession-based team, they've still kept it near 50-50, even down a man. They had a couple of trips up the field. Bijev had the crack from long distance that he didn't quite get on target. And then Partida put in that dangerous cross moments ago. Played inside here from the Red Wolves. Nobody home. Could actually make the case that Fuego have looked more dangerous on a couple of attacks in the second half, down a man, than they did in the entirety of the first half. Garcia is on a yellow, and now he's drawn the ire of Killian Richardson with that foul. He picked up the first yellow for persistent infringement, now commits another one. He's the heartbeat of your team in the middle, but you wonder if you have to get him off at some point now to ensure you stay up a man. We'll see some changes here. Rafa Minsigan will exit as Ray Ortiz enters. And you know who that guy is. Juan Galindres makes his entrance, the much awaited entrance of the team's leading scorer. It is for Alex Tejera. All subs presented by Dos Equis. Posited the question in the earlier stages of this half, could we see Galindres and Tejera together, looking to take advantage of Fuego being down a man, especially considering all the opportunities Tejera had created tonight? The answer is no. Both players occupy the same position on the field. Tough to get them out there together. Physical challenge by Hornsby. Welcome to the match, Ray Ortiz. Galindres is the leading scorer for the Red Wolves with 8. He's 3rd leading scorer, or tied for 3rd in USL League One. And he has scored 2 of his 8 goals this season against Fuego. Scored the game tying goal right before halftime when these teams bet in that 2-2 draw back in May. And then he scored the insurance goal just for good measure in the 5th minute of stoppage time for that 2-0 Red Wolves win back in June. Martin Vasquez looks on. The brain trust of Fuego wondering which pieces to move next along the chessboard. They have 1 piece fewer than the Red Wolves still. On that second yellow picked up by Casillas all the way back in stoppage time of the first half. Carrera Garcia into Ray Ortiz. Played out wide, now toward Galindres. Stays in, Benton. Still DJ Benton, end line, earns a corner. It's been a struggle all offensively for the Red Wolves lately. A 1-1 draw against Omaha, a scoreless draw against Hailstorm. Still being shut out here despite having played the last 25 minutes up a man. That could change here on the corner. Carrera Garcia floats it in. Low driven ball. Too far out ahead. Villalobos and Galindrez. Ray Ortiz with that service coming off the bench. 2 goals, 2 assists on the year for Ortiz. Galindrez, as I mentioned, 8 goals. It's nice to be able to bring in 10 goals and 2 assists off the bench here in Ortiz and Galindrez. Again on a night where temperatures have been in the triple digits. At kickoff, still now 97 degrees. Not like it's cooled off significantly. You've got tired, heavy legs, one would imagine, on both ends of the field. And now the fresh legs of Galindrez, Ortiz, charging at a back line of Fuego that have had to put in the extra work down a man. Here is Ortiz, worm burner just wide. Not sure if that was a cross or a shot. It had the velocity of a shot. It had the placement of a cross, begging for somebody to tap it home at the back post. Neither occurred. There's another near miss for the Red Wolves. Changes coming on the Fuego side. That's it for Maxi Schenfeld. William Bijev on the way out as well. 5 goals on the year for Bijev, and also 5 goals on the season for the man entering in his stead. Christian Cheney in. Daye Sheriff waiting to enter as well for Maxi Schenfeld. Subs brought to you by Dos Equis. Bijev never really got going tonight. Tough to do so when you play the second half down a man. About 18 minutes remaining at Fresno State Soccer Stadium. Joe Malfa with you tonight from Fresno, California, for this one between Central Valley Fuego FC and the Chattanooga Red Wolves. A couple of minutes away from a second half hydration break that could prove a last opportunity for both coaches to make some tweaks and end up with the result they're hoping for, which for now, that might be a scoreless draw for Fuego. They'd like 3 points if they could steal them, but down a man, you'd be happy with a scoreless draw. Lombardi centers it. Driven ball into the bottom corner. That'll do it for Chattanooga. Andres Hernandez with the strike. Ofek Antman blew a gasket after it went in. Assistant referee on the far side getting an earful from Antman. He's claiming it should have been offside. We'll get another look at it in a moment. Doesn't seem like Killian Richardson is going to change anything about this call except add a yellow into the mix for Etman. For Hernandez, it is his first of the year, and it's a big one. Let's take another look at this to see where the argument lies for Ant-Man. I think he's arguing that Galindrez was offside and in his line of sight. Let's have a look here as the shot comes in from Hernandez. I don't believe so. It looked like Galindrez was the right side of Jordan Chavez. He ended up behind Chavez, but not until after the shot came in. And Chavez had tried to work his way around Galindrez to block the shot, it appeared. And a bang-bang play like that, you could see where the argument maybe comes from for Ofek Ant-Man. But when he has another look at it tonight, I think he would agree with the referees. As the players take a hydration break, let's look at it again. Watch Galindrez working on the shoulder of Chavez when the shot comes in. There they are, paired off with each other. Hernandez strikes it there, he's onside. And then as Chavez leapt into the air to see if a block might be in the cards, Galindrez turned inside, ended up behind Chavez. And as Ant-Man went to save it, all he ended up seeing after it went in the net was that Galindrez was behind Chavez and tried to make the case that he was behind Chavez from the get-go and should have been offside. Picks up the yellow, Ant-Man, for arguing a call that was in the end correct by the referees. Perhaps just a frustration spilling out after having defended as a team successfully for a half an hour down a man. All of that now undone, and now they will have to climb the mountain of being down a goal and a man. If this turns out to be a loss for Fuego, they won't have to wait long to rebound. They'll be home for pretty much the rest of the month of August. This Saturday against Omaha, and then the Kickers come back again. We know what happened last time, 3-1 win. And then Tormenta and Tucson to close out the month. Western Classico against Tucson, a struggling Tucson side at the end of August. Fuego hoping that slide continues for Tucson before they welcome that in at the end of the month. The yellow card now issued to Daye Sheriff. Look again at that foul, leading to the yellow. It was a bit late. Only a dozen minutes remaining. All the Red Wolves have to do is take the air out of the ball, pass it around, and wait for that final whistle to blow. On an evening where Fuego weren't really able to generate any chances when it was 11v11. I have to imagine now it should be smooth sailing for the Red Wolves, up a goal and a man. 3 shots the entire match for Fuego. 1 in the first half, 2 in the second half, none of those on target. It's hard to earn points in a match when your expected goals are 0.05. Red Wolves not much better at 0.59. But they have the 1, and that's all that matters. Help is on the way for Fuego. Mentioned it at halftime in the news and notes. Adrian Vera is in the fold now, just signed after a year with RGV and USL Championship. Brings a lot to the table. As Falk earns a corner, down a man, down a goal. You have to capitalize when you have a set piece opportunity like this. But Adrian Vera will bring with him over 130 games at the USL Championship level. Had a terrific season in 2017 with LA Galaxy 2. Scored 6 goals with a handful of assists as well. So he should be in tow for the matchup against Omaha on the weekend. Another El Mexicano corner for Fuego. Swung in centrally. Daye on the volley. Loose for Partida, and now sent the other way. Flared out wide, now in front. Strong doesn't get to it. That was the chance for Fuego. Strong didn't make any contact. And then a couple of steps too slow, Victor Falk on the loose ball. Don't know how many more opportunities there will be like that. Sam Strong here, fish out of water perhaps as a center back ranging that far up the field. Tried to go with the outside of the boot. Wrong decision. And then cleared away before Falk could get there. Ozzy Ramos on the free kick. Melindres heads it away. Daye keeps it alive. Sharif Daye whips it near post. Stop made on the line by Saunders. He subbed in at the 15-minute mark for the injured Aviles. He hasn't had to do anything for nearly 70 minutes, but he just kept it a 1-0 lead for the Red Wolves. Falk touched it ever so slightly with the big toe on his right foot. And Saunders, well, there was maybe the distance of a big toe between that ball and the goal line. And it's still 1-0 Red Wolves. Anybody staying up late on the East Coast, if you're a Red Wolves fan, that's one that would have kept you up at night if it got in there. There's still time, about 9 minutes plus stoppage time for Fuego to find one. But up a goal, up a man, you cannot afford to let this 3-point swing slip through your fingers. Playing this game against a team that was directly above you in the standings. Fuego 1 point better than the Red Wolves coming into the night. A 6-point swinger here. They are so close to the finish line. That was the first shot on target of the match for Fuego. Very difficult as a goalkeeper to go that long without anything coming your way. And then on a moment's notice, spring into action. Saunders made the stop. In the live table now, Red Wolves vault all the way up to 4th place from 8th. They'd be on 25 points. Charlotte and Madison also on 25. They play on Friday night, by the way, head-to-head. But on the tiebreakers, Red Wolves would leapfrog them both. Jose Villarreal on the way in now for Fuego. Look back at that foul against Ozzy Ramos. And it will be Ramos who exits in favor of Villarreal. All subs brought to you by Dos Equis. Only the 3rd appearance of the season for Jose Villarreal. As a fan, you make your voice heard. To the fan who was counting all the way up to 13 to dictate the amount of time Tor Saunders was sitting on that free kick, it worked. He received a yellow card for time wasting. Saunders gets it back into play quickly this time. Dye. If this result were to hold on the Fuego side, it would be yet another 1-0 loss. They had 2 to begin the month of July. And they might be beginning the month of August the same way. Saunders floats it up the wing. Strong all the way back for Entman. Dye, driven ball in, Cheney misses it. Tied for the team lead with 5 goals. Broke free, could have had a 6th. Never made contact. Saunders still had to get out there to it. That ball might have been curling toward the far post. Another service for Cheney. He misses again. It's easy to say it from the booth and not being on the field. But both times, did Cheney make the wrong decision in how he attacked the ball? Going with the outside of the foot instead of just opening that foot up and squaring it up to goal. Had a number of opportunities now in the last 10 minutes, Fuego, ever since going down a goal. Unsure of the hold-up here from Killian Richardson. Went over to talk to the 4th official. Now begins play with a drop ball. Two chances there for Cheney, back-to-back on deliveries from out wide. Tied for the team lead with 5 goals. You'd peg him to score those more often than not. But he misses both back-to-back in a 1-0 game where you have to have it. And it's 1-0 because of the efforts of Hernandez in the 73rd minute. Jimmy Weekly shouting the instructions from the sideline, the acting head coach for the Red Wolves in the stead of Jimmy Obleda. Partita, and the flag up on Cheney. Into the 90th minute. Is there drama yet in this one? Fuego tied for the league lead with 6 stoppage time goals on the season. That encompasses both first half and second half. Not in stoppage time yet, but on the brink of it. Ray Ortiz keeps his feet, working on Hornsby. Ortiz takes it to the corner. Gives it up for a goal kick. Mo Espinoza, team leader with 5 assists, comes into the match now for Jimmy Villalobos. Sub brought to you by Dos Equis. Are we going to see a repeat down the stretch here of what we saw when these teams met back in June? Tonight the goal was scored in the 73rd minute by Hernandez. Back in June it was Mo Espinoza who scored in the 81st minute. And then Juan Galindres, 90+5, salted it away with the insurance goal. And in stoppage time now, 4 minutes awarded. Timmy Mel to Ray Ortiz. Pardon me, Mo Espinoza now on that right side. Espinoza leaves it for Galindres, who leaves it for Ortiz. Benton. Took a deflection off of Galindres. It'll be Fuego ball. 3 minutes remaining. Do they have any chances left? Partita, a heavy challenge. The yellow card issued. When the Red Wolves scored their goal to go up 1-0, at that point, Fuego still had only 3 shots in the match, none on target. Since then, in the last nearly 20 minutes, Fuego, 4 shots, 2 on target. They woke up after going down a goal, but is it too little too late as Partita picks up a yellow here? Herrera Garcia for Galindres. Goal kick, 2 to go. Foul goes against Fuego. Thought for a moment they might be the recipients of a free kick as Mel went up for the challenge on Villarreal. 2 players tracking the ball, going up for it. Mel leapt into Villarreal. That's either no call or a foul on Mel for me. Sam Strong, the center back, now acting as an extra attacker. Sent up the field in the final minute of stoppage time. Joaquin Lesotho for Villarreal. Thor Saunders will have to get into play quickly. Already on a yellow card for time wasting. Still managed to take 25 seconds off the clock from the time that ball went out to the time it was put back in. Hornsby. Through to Cheney. Here's Cheney on the right foot. It's blocked. Rebound, foul, blocked again. Shouts for handball and a point to the spot. A break goes Fuego's way. A lifeline now for Central Valley. The clock read 94. It was surely their last attack. Cheney's shot blocked. Foul comes in. His shot there off the left hand of Benton. First penalty of the season coming up for Central Valley Fuego. On a night where nearly nothing has gone their way in terms of the opportunities. The red card right before halftime. They have a chance to erase it all and steal a point. Playing the whole half down a man. Going down a goal in the 73rd. This would be quite the Houdini act if they come away with a point still. Cheney leads the way with 5 goals for the team, tied with Bijev. He can break that tie here and make it a tie in the game itself. Cheney puts it wide. The Red Wolves will hold on to all 3 points tonight against Central Valley Fuego. Cheney may have trouble sleeping this evening. 2 golden opportunities from the top of the 6 on outstanding crosses from out wide. He missed both of those. That would be grouped in as golden chances. Then from 12 yards out, he puts it wide altogether. That's all tonight from Fresno State Soccer Stadium. Chattanooga Red Wolves come on the road and take all 3 points over Central Valley Fuego FC, and with that they go from 8th place into 4th place, from below the playoff line to above the playoff line here in a very tight USL League One playoff race. Andres Hernandez, the hero, came in as a second half sub, came on at halftime for Josue Cartagena, and he scores the goal in the 73rd minute. Tor Saunders did have to make one massive stop, and then he watched the penalty sail beyond the far post. Goes over to console the player who missed it. Great sportsmanship there. The Red Wolves take all 3 points. We come back in a moment to wrap it up from Fresno. Cheney still somber after the way this game ended. Had a chance from the penalty spot to tie things up in the last minute of stoppage time. Had a couple more chances in the run of play prior to that. Unable to cash in on any of them. The only player to cash in tonight was Andres Hernandez in the 73rd minute, and it gave the Chattanooga Red Wolves a 1-0 victory over Central Valley Fuego on the road. Tor Saunders subbed in cold in the 15th minute for an injured Carlos Aviles. Made a big stop before we got to that final flurry. Foul had a chance at around the 80th minute, and Tor stopped it right on the line to keep it 1-0. Didn't have to do anything on the penalty as it just sailed wide of the post on the miss hit by Cheney, who had a chance to break the tie for the team leading goals. He and William Bijev had 5 each, and that's the total it remains at the end of the night. Andres Hernandez got his first goal of the season for the victory. Let's take a look back at the highlights from this one, brought to you by El Mexicano. 14th minute, Alex Tejeda from his own side of the field made Hetman make that stop. Struck it cleanly. How often do we see a player have this kind of courage, but then just mishit it a few yards off the ground, ends up in the hands of the goalkeeper, maybe it ends up 30 yards wide. That one was on its way into the net, if not for the stop by Hetman. Rafa Menzigen was busy early on when he was on the right side. He wasn't as busy once he made this transition over to the left side. Denton had a chance coming through here on the pass squared back by Menzigen. DJ Benton swung and missed. Late on in the first half, final minute of stoppage time, Casillas questionably picked up a second yellow card there, and it changed the outlook of the match. It put Fuego down a man for the entirety of the second half. 73rd minute, Red Wolves finally cash in. Headed across by Lombardi, falls out to Hernandez, drives it low and hard to the bottom corner to make it 1-0, his first of the season, and his first of the season brings all 3 points home for the Red Wolves. They travel a long way from Chattanooga out to the Central Valley here in California. It'll be a much easier flight back with 3 points in the back pocket, but it wasn't without nerves at the end. There's that chance from Falk that I talked about a moment ago. Pawed on the line by Saunders, and then in the 96th minute, Cheney just misses the target altogether. Saunders might have had it covered, to be fair. He guessed that way, but the shot well wide. A look at the full-time stats. They don't paint the entire picture. Fuego only had 3 shots, none on target until the 82nd minute. They came alive late with 7 shots and 2 more on target in the final 10 minutes. Red Wolves were in cruise control for most of the game after going up a man. Could they have won by more and cashed in? Sure. But a 1-0 win is the same as a 3-0 win, is the same as a 7-0 win. And this 1-0 win brings them from 8th place all the way up to 4th place in a very tight table here in USL League One. No elbow room at this table. 3 teams on 25 points. And 5 and 6 play Friday night. Charlotte Independence at home against Forward Madison. We'll look at the rest of the upcoming schedule. You have that one on Friday evening. And then 4 more on Saturday. Charlotte could sweep Madison. They've already beaten them twice. Same goes for Richmond against Tucson. Richmond has 2 wins over Tucson on the season. The 2 teams we saw tonight, Chattanooga and Central Valley, are home Saturday as well. And Northern Colorado runs it back in Severance. It was an odd evening in many ways here between Central Valley Fuego and the Chattanooga Red Wolves. But the only thing that we know for certain is 3 points ended up in the back pocket of the Chattanooga Red Wolves on the road against a strong Fuego team. The race is heating up here in the playoff race for USL League One. The next bit of action comes on Friday night with Charlotte against Madison, and that does it for us tonight from Fresno. For the crew that makes this possible, I'm Joe Malfa saying good night.
This copyrighted telecast of the United Soccer League League One cannot be retransmitted, rebroadcast, or reproduced without the expressed written consent of the United Soccer League League One.